Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kevin McCarthy. I'm the head of BD at Infer, and hello from the home of one of our annual privacy preserving machine learning events here in Santa Barbara, California. And I'm here to highlight a real world example of a recurring MPC application we like to call Sinking Pirates. And really what it is a fraud detection through secure, collaborative, multi-party computing effort. And our partners at places like BNY Mellon like to call it Sinking Pirates, as it is a good story and background to it. So I'll ask you to reimagine fraud detection in a sense that harkens a bit to our collaborative past and multi-party future. So Sinking Pirates is the term because back in the 1800s, early US states and collaborating actors joined forces to refute piracy and extortion at sea, banding together to combat and defeat the Barbary corsairs. And it's here that MPC gives us the possibility and more so capability to feasibly and compliantly collaborate to enable better outcomes against bad actors or today's pirates in the financial sense. And one of the ways that we do that is by leveraging the collective intelligence of multiple parties, specifically within machine learning efforts, where more good data allows us to train better machine learning models. Here seen by an area under the curve example charted in its growth from left to right. We can look at it however we might like in a data science perspective. But a more precise and performant model is often developed when training on more robust and insightful data, whether that comes from intra-organizational silos, inter-ecosystem-esque collaborations, and the expansion of some marketplaces. Now, at a business level, Sinking Pirates in the financial services space is really a collaborative effort leveraging MPC to evaluate bank payment flows to better detect and refute financial crimes. Essentially, MPC enables secure data collaboration to power better predictive modeling outcomes, which result in value-added services to strategic payment and custody clients, as well as increased straight-through processing and a reduction in millions of dollars of financial crimes. Historically, the difficulty in these efforts has been that fraud models evaluating such flows are trained only on a single party's historical data. And prior centralization efforts have left a lot of attributes on the cutting room floor given privacy, confidentiality, and sensitivity issues that often come with it. And what we're doing is making it so that one ship alone at sea won't get picked off by these pirates, but a coordinated effort by like-minded institutions enable us to win the war. And in partnership, what we were able to do is identify that we could improve models by upwards of 20% through their predictive capabilities, which translated to a lot of monetary benefits. Now, at more of a technical and data science level, Sinking Pirates is a fairly simplistic MPC effort. I think many of the participants at an MPC Alliance event get it. But the complexity when integrating into existing systems and processes can be complex. Essentially, though, we can break it into two primary efforts, a offline and online phase, in which offline training, shown more at the bottom here, is focused on building better models on larger data pools, doubling, tripling, and further expanding amounts of predictive data that we can leverage, and capturing more unique and insightful bad examples from across the ecosystem, often before they present elsewhere and bust out in small dollar occurrences into large dollar occurrences. And then shown above, the online phase more for inference in mobilizing these models, predicates, and scores to facilitate more granular evaluation of payments in near real time through common decision engines, with an overall impact, again, is increasing the precision in which we can treat these payment flows, and we'll do this at scale across millions of transactions a week. Now, at more of an MPC Alliance level, Sinking Pirates has been a journey to enable such scale, where real-world scale in financial services is at times bigger than many of the data sets we're often accustomed to analyzing within MPC systems. But great advancements have been made both at a software and a hardware level to facilitate enablement and fit. And we can see this journey really moving from small scale samples in the hundreds of thousands of data points analyzed with simplistic models to more real world scenarios evaluating hundreds of millions of historical samples with more avant-garde modeling techniques. And these techniques continue to grow following the path of today's common machine learning journeys, albeit a few years behind. Now, given we've got 5 minutes to highlight MPC as a specific example for sinking pirates, I'd want to point out, if you want to learn more about these efforts, specifically to sinking pirates in financial services, I might ask you to look to a solution brief with our partners at BNY Mellon. And if you want to learn more at a technical level, we have a great session with our partners at NVIDIA around such efforts, accelerating the underlying technical capabilities. And if you want to see something like this live, participate, or even create your own ecosystem, I'd ask you to reach out to me, Kevin McCarthy at Infer, or investigate our free XOR trial as a place to see this example live and evaluate it perhaps with your own data and workflows. Thanks again for your time today. I hope you enjoy the MPC event, and I appreciate your interest in learning a bit about our work at Infer and some of our efforts in financial services fraud detection through sinking pirates.